Welcome to the annual Lupus Awareness and Birthday Tribute to the late Chris Hutch. The mission of the Chris Hutch Works Lupus organization will focus on improving the quality of life for all people who are affected by lupus through education advocacy, resource information, and medical care which is assisted by research. The long-term goals? The goal of the CHWLD is to educate and develop awareness of available services to patients provided by the organization in order to remain current with the newest research medication and discoveries. We would also like to provide patients with the smoothest process possible while battling their illness by promoting optimal well-being. How will we do it? We intend to offer means of transportation for patients to and from weekly appointments, to assist in finding housing and child care services referrals, and identifying outlets to assist in providing basic needs to patients as well as their loved ones. Services will include training seminars, a website, information, and referrals which will be instrumental in helping to provide some of the necessary support. Referrals will include names of organizations, individuals, and programs that specialize in health issues, emotional counseling, housing, and financial aid solutions. Enjoy the show.
Hello, and welcome to another year of celebration for one Mr. Chris Hutchinson. This is an event that we do in remembrance of his life and the legacy that he leaves behind, but also to bring awareness to lupus as a whole, and bringing not only awareness but change and healing as a result of what we do here. So not only do we celebrate his life, but we do so with a purpose. And so without going any further, before we get started, I wanted to give you a little bit of background about myself. My name is Leon. And Chris was actually a close friend of mine. He was actually more like a brother. And one of the things that I just loved so much about him was his personality. We spent a lot of time just laughing and sharing memories together doing that. He loved to laugh. He loved to make people laugh. And even through the worst of his situations, we found ways to laugh. One of the lyrics from his songs that just is so profound to me was, "Tough times don't last, but tough people do." And so that is just a reminder for us as we're sitting right now in the midst of COVID-19, separated from each other. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. And let us be reminded of that as we go through that this season. So anyway, we're going to get started. And before we do, I'm going to go ahead and lead us in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus, we just thank you for another day, celebration. To be able to remember the legacy of Chris, Lord. And we just ask that you just be a part of this event today. We ask that your will be done. Lord, the lives that are affected by this horrible disease called lupus, we know your name is above every name, including any disease, including lupus, God. And we just thank you for all that you're doing, the people that you're touching through the work that's being done as a result of this movement. And we just want to give you and acknowledge you in all these things, that you would touch and keep us and protect us in this season. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. So we're actually going to get started. We have a ton of acts for you guys today, and we hope that you enjoy every last one of them. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned. Peace.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'd like to welcome you all and thank you for participating in this event, this yearly event that we have. And this would be our fifth actual, I would say, really the time of really getting together on a larger scale to celebrate the legacy, the birthday, and as well as making people aware of lupus and bringing people together to actually see where we're going next as far as research and helping people, reaching out in the community to help people. This is something that Chris and Chris passed away at the age of 26 from complications of lupus. I won't say lupus itself, and later on I'll expound on that. Plus I have a another book that I'm writing that will tell about what actually happened and how he actually passed from complications of lupus and some things that actually happened to shorten his life. We talked about this during the time he was ill. We decided that even if he had lived, he and I would have a lupus foundation or a lupus organization. And this is something that I decided that I would carry on and just make sure that all of the work that he did while he was alive, which was a whole lot. He was, just constantly producing songs, writing, and also performing. He left a lot, and I don't intend to leave it on the shelf. I actually intend to make sure that his work does not, go in vain. And actually, the lesson that he learned in life, in his short life before he passed away, that message is passed on. So thanks again for participating, and I will be giving a little more information a little bit later about some of the things that we'll be doing in the near future. Thank you.
So next coming to the stage, we have an artist by the name of Mo Sick. He's straight out of the Bronx, New York. Put your hands together for Mo Sick.
Yeah. I wake up every day. You know I'm trying to maintain. Shout out to Chris Hutch. Rest in peace. Yeah. I wake up every day, I gotta get it. Maintain a position and staying upon a mission. Know I'm thanking God every day that I'm living. All this paper I'm getting while you a slave to the system. Can't hang with them niggas, can't relate to the wisdom. I operate off of faith, but the paper's a given. Made niggas can't expect lame niggas to listen. Now you're playing with a gift, can't play the position. Play my position, I need a break from the kitchen. I had them fiends addicted, coming straight from the district. Every blessing that I get, yeah, I'm grateful to get it. Put it all on the line, every ball, every time. And since I do it for the love, you know the dollars is mine. Yet you know I'm gonna shine, bet it all on the grind. 100,000 just to rhyme, my dollars just climb. Watch a young nigga shine, this is my obvious time. I wake up every day, I gotta get it. Maintain a position and stay upon a mission. I wake up every day, I gotta get it. Maintain for the district, you can pay me a visit. Wake up every day, I gotta get it. Maintain a position and stay upon a mission. I wake up every day, I gotta get it. Maintain for the district, you can pay me a visit. Recognizing the buyers, flyer cause I'm the pilot. I supply the supplier, whack niggas retire. Recognize that I'm flyer, exceptional my attire. The Merc Park is mine, I'm Avenue niggas buyers. Whole niggas that's fire, I'm cold, shout out to Dyer. On fire like Richard Pryor, explode. Homicidal, killing them for the title. Diminishing all my rivals, yeah this is about survival. Real nigga recital, play them like the piano and turn to another channel. Niggas trying to gamble, them niggas can end up canceled. No they can't do the numbers you predicted. This is the anthem, I'm representing for that district. Wake up every day, I gotta get it. Maintain a position and staying upon a mission. I wake up every day, I gotta get it. Maintain for the district, you can pay me a visit. Wake up every day, I gotta get it. Maintain a position and staying upon a mission. I wake up every day, I gotta get it. Maintain for the district, you can pay me a visit. Yeah, and we out. Shout out to Crenshaw. Shout out to Slauson. Chris Hutchinson. One love.
Welcome back. We are here. We actually right now, what you just heard actually right now was Chris's song, Maintain. This was one of his most popular songs that he had out. Shout out to Mo Sick for performing that. Excellent job he did. Right now, we actually want to just introduce another profound family member and honorary member of the LAKMG group, and his name is Vaughn. Vaughn is he goes by Big Vaughn, and he's going to tell us a little bit about himself and what Chris may have meant to him in his life.
Chris been an inspiration to me for a minute. Ever since he was alive, I used to help him out a little bit when he got sick. I used to help him upstairs, getting in bed and stuff. So I just want to just sit here and just reminiscing about him. But I do miss him a lot. And his songs is an inspiration to others and everything else. And I love Chris, and I really miss him, though.
Thank you. Yes, Von has really been a big help in our family. There was one time when we just really didn't know what to do. He actually helped us to get him up the stairs after he had been released from a hospital, and it was just so much happened, but it just always seemed like Von was always there whenever we needed him. He's a hero in his own right. Actually, Von was recognized by the fire department for saving some lives of some people in a senior citizen building from a fire. So this was, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. So Von, I don't care what he has to do. If there's some way he can help, and if there is a crisis situation, Von will be the first one reaching out a hand. So I will say that, and he's an honorary member of LAKMG.
And we just want to thank you, man, for just your consistency, for being here, for representing Chris the way you do in your life. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
No, that's it.
Okay. Well, the next thing we have up on, we have a video. We're going to do the bounce video. So that's coming up, and we'll see you in a minute.
All I wanna do is make the whole crowd bounce. All I wanna do is make the whole crowd bounce, y'all.
Yeah. I spotted a bad one, started to approach him. Money on my brain, man, I'm a West Coaster. Put the pedal to the floor, no chauffeur. Move like a nigga be moving in slow motion. I'm a Dodger, Clipper, King. If she choose me, then I put her on the team. And she better boss up. Going off the liquor key, bring me in the cup. Picture me riding, put it on dubs. SC is on my back for the marathon run. Baby wanna play games in front. She associate with the kid just to stunt. Understand I'm a hustler, therefore I'm money motivated, and therefore I'm never overrated. What you sweating the player for? Put it in the air. California Kush might put you in a chair.
All I wanna do is make the whole crowd bounce, y'all. All I wanna do is make the whole crowd bounce, y'all. All I wanna do is make the whole crowd bounce, y'all. Bounce, y'all. All I wanna do is make the whole crowd bounce, y'all. All I wanna do is make the whole crowd bounce, y'all. All I wanna do is make the whole crowd bounce, y'all. Bounce, y'all. Bounce, y'all. Bounce, y'all.
Sitting on the things, my car like a pigeon. The Chevy got wings and it's flying around shitting. Got the hoes ready for this parking lot pimping. I'm a boss that made it through this hard knock living. Up in the club taking shots of tequila. Shining so it's hard for you not to see it. Got diamonds, guns, bottles, reefer. Money, models, divas, and best believe there's one thing that I know. I'm taking me a bitch back to the condo. Shorty got a high self-esteem and smelling good, all fresh and clean. You got a sexy thing in them 7 jeans, and baby I don't see no wedding ring. So hop in this old school machine. I'm sitting on 23s and blowing that good green.
All I wanna do is make the whole crowd bounce, y'all. All I wanna do is make the whole crowd bounce, y'all. All I wanna do is make the whole crowd bounce, y'all. Bounce, y'all. All I wanna do is make the whole crowd bounce, y'all. All I wanna do is make the whole crowd bounce, y'all. All I wanna do is make the whole crowd bounce, y'all. Bounce, y'all. Bounce, y'all. Bounce, y'all.
Put it in the pot, cook it up till it's hot, then put it on the block, man, never will it stop, never put it in reverse, niggas versus neutral. Me versus you, I will hurt your pupils, like staring at the sun with refractive lenses. Took a brief hiatus, now it's back to business, back to the black coupe with the absent roof, still hustling, guzzling the 8-0 proof, still spit for the hell of it, fame is still irrelevant, did it for the dough like the Larry H settlement, turning out propellers on Caribbean seas, flipping baby back ribs 400 degrees, open fire, why you running from me? I open fire on you haters like the shooting range, aim and squeeze. I ain't never missed a game, I ain't never been bitch. Started off with a stack, been doubling ever since, nigga.
All I wanna do is make the whole crowd bounce, y'all. All I wanna do is make the whole crowd bounce, y'all. All I wanna do is make the whole crowd bounce, y'all. Bounce, y'all. All I wanna do is make the whole crowd bounce, y'all. All I wanna do is make the whole crowd bounce, y'all. All I wanna do is make the whole crowd bounce, y'all. Bounce, y'all. Bounce, y'all. Bounce, y'all. All I wanna do is make the whole crowd bounce, y'all. All I wanna do is make the whole crowd bounce, y'all. All I wanna do is make the whole crowd bounce, y'all. Bounce, y'all.
This is a fundraiser.
All I wanna do is make the whole crowd bounce, y'all. All I wanna do is make the whole crowd bounce, y'all.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in again. We want to let you know that there is a way that you can make a donation to the Lupus Foundation and the LAKMG group, and you can do so by You can actually donate by sending a check or money order to the Chris Hutch Lupus Organization to P.O. Box 8256, Los Angeles, California, 90008. Or you can send a Cash App to $ EHutch123. Again, that's EHutch123. And next we have Deshaun, aka D Fresh. He's going to tell us a little bit about himself. But he is actually a co-founder of LAKMG and the Kingsman Multimedia Group. He's going to tell us a little bit about himself and his relationship with Chris and how they got started on all these projects they had to go together. So what can you tell us about yourself?
Wow. I could tell you a little bit about myself. I could tell you a lot about what we did and what we went through and what we accomplished. Yeah. First to start off, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you. This is a beautiful event in the memory of my very good friend, Christopher Hutchinson. Wow, so many good times. Chris and I, let me start at the beginning. Chris and I met in Long Beach when Chris was in college, his freshman year at Cal State Long Beach. We were introduced by a mutual friend who was also no longer with us. Rest in peace, Jason Sweet. He introduced us. And because we all grew up in that South Central area, we all had ties as far as understanding the struggle that we were going through, but we all also were smart and intelligent and were interested in music and business and media. And first when I met Chris, it was in Long Beach. He was living in a place. He was living in a house, and it was a couple of other people living in the house with him, roommates. And we went into Chris' room, and Chris had the keyboard, and he had the Mac computer, and we walk in, the dude is at the keyboard playing the keys and making beats. And I'm like, oh, this dude is serious. I'm like, I see the whole setup. And from there, it just kind of kicked off. We built a relationship, we just spent a lot of time together developing and cultivating the process of what we wanted to put out into the world. And together, it started off as Kingsman. And Kingsman, Kingsman is a multimedia group that we wanted to develop to be able to not just put out music, but also produce videos, do production sound, and also just get the culture out from where we're from our perspective. And we wanted to be viewed as kings. And so that was the beginning process of us starting off. And unfortunately, in the very beginning, I mentioned him before, our good friend was taken from us. And in any situation, when something like that happens, people tend to band closer. And that's what happened with Chris and I. And we both grew up in South Central, not too far from each other. He grew up down off of Arlington at that time, and I was right there on Western. And if anybody knows LA, those streets are too far apart. Right. And so as time grew, let's say around 2006, we started really pushing. We started really making a push. We were in the studio a lot. We were shooting our own videos. We were finding outlets to put the content so we could put the content together ourselves and be businessmen and press up our own CDs and inserts and duplicate the music so we can get it out to the masses. And that's exactly what we did. One of the very first videos that we ever shot was called Bounce.
That's the one we just saw, right?
Yeah, right, yeah. Bounce is the very first video we ever shot. And we shot that with an XLR Sony camera that we had rented from one of our friends. And it took us like 2 days to shoot the video. We had a great time. We learned a lot. We edited the video ourselves. And it really took us through the process of learning about how to actually record a video and how it's supposed to properly be done. And even though we did not learn everything, it taught us the basics of it. Right. And from there, it was kind of like a straight shot. We went and did Fall Back, and then we, and all the way up into his very last video, Maintain, which shout out to the brother who performed the song. I really appreciate the way he respected the song and kept it original. Thank you for that. I believe his name is Mosaic. Mosaic. Shout out to Mosaic.
Yeah.
Much love.
Shout out to him.
You know, because Chris was an artist. He was a true artist.
Yes, he was.
You know, even when nobody believed in Chris, I always believed in Chris because I saw the work that we put in together. You know, I was responsible for finding shows, so we did a lot of shows. I was responsible for finding a lot of the, which is huge, is the online radio. You know, I remember when DJ Head and Chuck were in Long Beach, and we used to go to Homegrown, and we used to hang out there. And Glasses Malone would be there. We thought that was cool because, you know, Glasses his name was huge at that time because he was with Cash Money. But you know, we just developed so many relationships, and you know, there's other brothers that also helped groom Chris, and also which brought about LAKMG, and that's DJ Quest Coast, who is huge, and DJ Nes Nice, Aaron Nesbitt, and these are my brothers, and we cultivated and created LAKMG, all four of us together. And LAKMG stands for Loyal, Ambitious King, Mastering Greatness. Loyal, Ambitious King, Mastering Greatness. And it started off as the brand because everything was going to be underneath the Kingsman umbrella. But because I believe, you know, me just having a marketing perspective, I think that LAKMG was easier for people than Kingsman because it looked better visually.
Right.
And so that's why people knew LAKMG more than they knew Kingsman. But everything was a partnership, from creating the content, from creating the clothing, to just getting shows and meeting people and doing business. One of the things I remember most about Chris is Chris would write music. When he would write his music, and nobody helped Chris with his music, like nobody. Nobody helped. He didn't need help.
Right.
Okay, he can help you, but you can't help him.
Right.
Right. So Chris would walk around. He would have his notebook and he would write, and he would have his headphones on. He would walk around. He would walk around my back house because we would all hang out in the back house. That's where the whole meetup was. He would walk around and he would just be whispering his raps to himself, and you would hear him, but you wouldn't know what he was saying, but you could hear the cadence, and you could hear the headphones blasting loud in his earphones, in his ears. And he would just be mumbling to himself. And then we would go to the studio maybe like a couple of days or maybe like a week later, and he would lay the track down. And it was one day that it was Hustle Hard, the song Hustle Hard. I wasn't there when he recorded Hustle Hard. I think I was out of town, and I came back and he played me Hustle Hard for me, which to me was like one of his best songs and videos. Like, I love the video, I love the song, I just love the whole vibe of it. But go listen to Hustle Hard, Chris Hutch, if you haven't. Like, that's probably one of his dopest songs. But it didn't sound like him, and I was like, who is this? And he was like, it's me. I was like, get out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like, that just showed, like, for me to know my brother and to see his growth throughout the process of his career, and to be there for everything good and everything bad, you know, it hurts.
Right.
You know, him not being here, because of the past. Like, even after he left, I still tried to move on, but the feeling wasn't the same.
Right.
You know, and but it's beautiful to be able to go back and think about those memories, and I feel like we were pioneers. There's other cats too that we hung out with, that are from our section, that a lot of people don't get credit for. Like, one of them, his name is Rempaw Evan McKenzie, and he helped us out with duplications and CD duplication, but he was also an artist in himself. And when you look at now the way music is being streamed and the way music is being bought and being put out to the masses, we were doing that back in 2006, 2007,
right,
all the way up. It probably would have been till now. So we were kind of like pioneers ahead of the game,
right?
You know, and it's good to see a lot of the people who we've encountered, and I was able to encounter through Chris, actually make it to where they wanted to be, you know, because that's just legacy, you know. Whenever I think about Chris, I always think legacy, because he was the center of it. You know, there's a lot of artists that I could have worked with. There was a lot of artists that I could have ran into, but I ran into Chris Hutch, you know, and that's a blessing. And I'm always remember my brother. I mean, you know, Miss Hutch wanted me to tell this story, but she I don't know who told her we got beat up or what, but we were on my block, and you know, like I said, I grew up on Western, you know, Western and 92nd Street, and you know, if anybody's from LA, they know that's, you know, that's a section, you know, it is what it is. And so it was some cats, they was messing with my little cousin, and which he's the same age as me, but you know, I was a little rowdier at this time in my life. And you know, I seen him walking down the street, so I just chased him down, and Chris was the only one that followed me and helped me. You know, and you know, we confronted the dudes and we set it straight and we kept it pushing. Nobody fought or anything like that, but you know, we had to let them know what was up. And so yeah, it was Chris, you know, and it was the same way for me. Like I would have Chris back for whatever it is, like no question, you know. But
Chris was not known for fighting. He had
Chris was the karate kid.
He had a junior black belt in karate. And I mean, he was good at it too. I mean, he has all kinds of trophies and awards, which he has won.
Well,
but he would. The one thing about it, he would win all these trophies and awards, but he would not fight the girls. He would let them. They would beat him down.
Well,
it was something about it. He wouldn't. And I said, "Why did you let that little girl beat you like that?" And, you know, just.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was a good thing.
I don't think you know, nowadays a lot of girls, they can really fight, but that just
shows. One little girl was really good though.
Yeah,
and she really.
Well, Chris was the karate kid. Like I said, we used to hang out in my backyard, in my back house, and you know, like it'd be a bunch of us back there. We just all throw on the gloves some days and just go at it, you know, because we ain't had nothing else to do. And you know, that just made you tough, and that's just what we did for fun, you know, when times was down and we was just hanging out. But you know, we all used to fisticuffs. But you know, just to kind of touch on the point of what Chris went through, and the what I remember about it is, you know, it was a weird transition for me because we were doing shows, and we had so much going on. We were doing the clothing, we were doing the shows, we were starting to make more music, and then all of a sudden Chris just disappeared on me, and I was like, what is going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, someone, right? He wasn't answering my phone calls. He wasn't returning my phone calls. He wasn't answering my text. And so, like, one day, I was like, man, I'm going over his house. So I went and banged on the door. Oh, and this is once you guys had moved. And he opened the door, and I didn't recognize my brother. And I was like, and I guess he'd been going through his thing in his very beginning of the spell. And I told him, I looked him in his eye, and I said, man, don't you ever do that to me. I'm your brother. If something's wrong, you need to let me know. And I just couldn't believe it, because, you know, the signs, they were never there to me. I just thought he was getting healthier to me, because he started losing weight first, you know. And when he started losing the weight, it wasn't bad. Like, because we you know, he was, in the beginning, like when I first met him, he was kind of husky because he played football, you know. And he started losing weight, and I just thought he was just being healthier. And I didn't realize that he was getting sick. I don't even think he realized, you know, because one thing that I remember is that he started losing his hair, and he thought it was alopecia. And Chris had waves, so, you know, he was serious about his waves, man.
Yes, he was.
And but long story short, though, you know, love your people. You know, take care of your people. If you see something, you think something is wrong, say something. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and yeah, I miss my brother. I love my brother, and we gonna work on getting this clothing line back together, because I think the people need it. And I and Miss Hutch, and along with a few others, we have some great ideas for people to start attracting to it.
Well, thank you for sharing everything, Deshaun. You're not going anywhere. We'll have more to discuss with your stories, et cetera. But in the meantime, we're actually going to go to the next video, which is we're going to go to the Hustle Hard video. Stay tuned. We'll see you in a minute.
Hustle hard in any hustle that you pick. Hustle hard in any hustle that you hustle hard in any hustle that you skinny nigga too skinny nigga too hustle hard in any hustle that you hustle hard in any hustle that you pick. Skinny nigga toothpick, but I do hustle hard in any hustle that you pick.
They say I'm gaining weight, I say my game is great. I hustle every day, eating my eggs and steak. Mashed potatoes scrape the sides of the pot. Reside on the block and collide with the cops. They can't never stop my energizer grind. Soon as I rise and shine, yeah, you know what's on my mind. I hustle hard in any hustle that you pick. Crenshaw District, Bone and Bread Avenue shit. Land where the skinny niggas die, I'm like a toothpick. But I'm turned up and on they heads, I'm a nuisance. If they bustin' on me, bark back like a blue pig. Listen to my new shit, you know I produce this. Just call me the future, not to be confused with any nigga doing it. This is Avenue music. I'm in the new zone. You see the roof gone. So salute homes. This is a true song.
Hustle hard in any hustle that you pick. Hustle hard in any hustle that you hustle hard in any hustle that you skinny nigga too skinny nigga too hustle hard in any hustle that you hustle hard in any hustle that you pick. Skinny nigga toothpick, but I do hustle hard in any hustle that you.
I'm coming live from the H line. Yeah, that's why I make mine. Try to take mine, watch me snap like a K9. Take them back to 85, birth for the greatest grind. If you ain't grinding, your life is just a waste of time. I can't lie, I'm just trying to make a Billy mine. So if grinding is illegal, I commit the crime. See, I'm in it for the guap, but I just get the shine. Skinny nigga won't stop till the city mine. See the haters hating on my spot, nigga get in line. Watch the young hustler hit the block in the nick of time. Candy paint up on my drop top 59. Pace car on the plot for the finish line. I'm Kobe Bryant of this rap when you hear me rhyme. On $1 million mission, nigga, why you killing time? Y'all keep my business mind. I'm a different design. About the business with mine. Every minute I grind.
Hustle hard in any hustle that you pick. Hustle hard in any hustle that you hustle hard in any hustle that you skinny nigga too skinny nigga too pick. Hustle hard in any hustle that you hustle hard in any hustle that you pick. Skinny nigga too pick, but I do hustle hard in any hustle that you pick.
Nigga, I choose the hustle, then I improve the hustle. I'm on my fresh hustle, getting them checks hustle. I never doubt that hustle, homie, I'm about that hustle. Never see me without that hustle. Yeah, I make them dollars double. Nigga, I choose the hustle, then I improve the hustle. I'm on my fresh hustle, getting them checks even if I didn't rap, but I still hustle hard. Bet I bring that money back. Yes, I will. Yes, I will.
Hustle hard in any hustle that you pick. Hustle hard in any hustle that you hustle hard in any hustle that you skinny nigga too skinny nigga too pick. Hustle hard in any hustle that you hustle hard in any hustle that you pick. Skinny nigga too pick, but I do hustle hard in any hustle that you pick. Hustle hard in any hustle that you pick.
Coming next to the stage, we have Brenda Smith from the Feeding in Motion Incorporated Foundation. She's going to be telling us a little bit about her program and what they plan to do in their partnership with Lupus Foundation. So here she comes to the stage.
Yes, I'm Brenda Smith with Feeding in Motion Mobile Food Bank Corporation. And we started 10 years ago in the Orange County, feeding families, less fortunate families, the disabled, mentally challenged, and the veterans with mental illness or with children. I started out just feeding people under the Newport Beach Pier, and I would cook a little food and take it down there, and then I talked to one of the soup kitchens in the community and told them what I did, and they says, come get food, and they gave me so much food till I was no longer able to feed the homeless, to where I had to load up my car and drive all over Southern California, finding families in different locations that are in poverty that needed food, and I would just pass out food to anywhere, to anyone. It doesn't matter. And so I would just continue doing it until 3 years ago I got recognized by a lady and says, why do I have all this food in my trunk and my car? And I explained to her. So like a year later, she called me up and said she nominated me for People's Choice Hero of the Year. And I had no idea that my food bank was going to take me that far. And so here I am still today, feeding anywhere from the homeless to the less fortunate. And now I'm also able to distribute food out to different church communities. And anyone that's out there that want to feed anyone, if they contact me, and I will give them all the supplies they need for us feeding the different families. And I'm partnershiping with Eleanor Hutchinson with the Lupus Foundation, and we're excited that she's coming on board, and I'm excited that I'm going on board with her. And I want to introduce you to one of my right-hand nephews that's been with me and very supportive of Feeding in Motion Mobile Food Bank. This is Lamar Deuce.
How you doing? I'm Lamar Deuce Lubin. I am helping my aunt. She's been doing it for 10 years. Now she's actually become now a nonprofit. So basically, some of y'all might know me from the group DRS, sang that song Gangsta Lean. This is for my homies. Well, we're trying to get some celebrities to come out, support. Not just for the mobile food bank, because what's really neat about this is that she actually brings food to people that need it. It's not just you walk up and you go to a simple place and get some food, but we actually drive out to where you're at, because we know there's a lot of families that basically can't get to certain places. So what she does is she makes sure that we get out there and we get to the people that truly deserve some food, need some food, but can't get to a shelter or can't get to a church, anything like that. So she's really proud to be working with Eleanor and the Lupus Foundation. So we're called Feeding in Motion Incorporated, and it's feeding on the go. So like I said, if you want to contact her, please, you can call her at 209-408-5296. Again, that's 209-408-5296. You can go on feedinginmotion@gmail.com, Brenda@feedinginmotion.com, and you can also go to just www.feedinginmotion.com. Also, looking for donations as well. I know she doesn't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. But any type of donation that you can give out, monetary or anything, or even in some help, if you have trucks or anything like that and you can help, go ahead and give her a call. And we just thank you guys for having us right here. All
right. See Hutch, I ain't gotta talk, I let them dollars talk. No, I ain't gotta talk. Nuh-uh. It's a formula to me. I'm feeling like Kobe coming off a ring, or like Bo at the Coliseum. Young champion coming off my hottest season. Lame niggas fall off, you are not in season. I let my money talk for me, this is dollar speaking. Got allegiance to the streets and it's not a secret. I'm at the Four Seasons, up in the presidential, stunting for no reason. Not on my level is you. I'm like a skyscraper and you are residential. Every time I re-up, I make my money triple. Take a walk through the park, better carry pistols. Haters hiding in the dark and they try and twist you. That's why I stick and move, hit them with the critical combo pronto. You know how a nigga do. Rap Floyd Mayweather giving niggas blues. I could kick cake better, wasn't feeling school. If you ain't getting money, you invisible. I'd rather put it in the pot like chicken soup. Hopping out the coupe, nigga in the business suit. Hustler by any means, I'ma get the loot. And now you hit the same, we go against the rules. Looking at the same thing, just a different view. Speak nothing but the truth when I'm in the booth. Take a picture, maybe you can get a visual. Cause I ain't gotta talk, I let them dollars talk. Niggas talking that bullshit. No, I ain't gotta talk, I just let them dollars talk. I ain't gotta talk, I let them dollars talk. No, I ain't gotta talk, I just let them dollars talk. Talking about money, then we on the same page. Check the rear view for one time, then I change lanes. Hit him one time, watch a nigga change the game. I ain't gotta be filthy, I just wanna maintain. Paint pictures with my brain, so I put it in the frame. This ain't a microwave, I am cooking with a flame. Not many real niggas, just a few of them remain. And I don't just talk it, but I'm fluent with the slang. You know I'm gon' get it, do it for the whole district. All of my chips in it, stand tall on these midgets. Godzilla paper got my palms all itching. Landed a palm tree, seeing no limits. Panoramic vision, avenue magician. Getting no money is against my religion. They pitching that flame, but a nigga still hitting. I ain't never missed a game, it's the young Cal Ripken. Confess, I ain't gotta talk, I let my dollars talk. I told y'all, I ain't gotta talk, I just let them dollars talk. Let them dollars do the talk. Confess, I ain't gotta talk, I let them dollars talk. Confess, no, I ain't gotta talk, I just let them dollars talk.
Coming next to the stage, we have Mr. Criminal. He is a friend of Chris's, and he's actually going to tell us a little bit about his story and how Chris has affected his life. So put your hands together for Criminal.
Yeah, what it do? What's up, y'all? It's Criminal with style. Yeah, I was a close friend of young Hutch. We grew up in the same neighborhood. You know, I met him one time on the Ave, on 2nd Ave. One of our other little buddies, they do music, the twins. He was out promoting his little project, and he came up to me, was like, bro, I'm dropping something. So I said, I'll check him out, and checked him out, seen him a little bit. A couple of weeks after that, then we finally realized who he was, and me and one of my business partners, like, we mentor a lot of young cats in the neighborhood in music and all type of stuff. We had picked Hutch up one day when he let us know he had produced for Angie Stone. Yeah, so we was like, what you doing over here? And you produced for Angie Stone, so we thought it was kind of crazy, like this young kid who had did such powerful song for, you know, a major artist was still in the hood. So, you know, we just took a liking to him, went out, bought his album to support him, put some money into his pocket for his publishing. So, you know, we was like kind of big brothers to him. But if he needed any advice or anything, he had us to come to. So we started working and going out to certain little clubs and little venues. And, you know, he was doing his thing. So, like I say, him, the little homie Nip, rest in peace, they was both around the same age doing the same thing. I think I did introduce Hutch to Nip one time, and I'm not sure because it was just a lot of things happening at that time. But Hutch was a great little young producer, you know, artist, smart, like fast on what he knew. Got closer, then we started noticing maybe throughout the years he wasn't feeling so well, and for a minute he got like detached from me and my other business partner, but he would kind of stay away, and like anybody would if they getting sick or anything, they'll, you know, want to stay away from their homies or whatnot and try to get well. Watching him go down, get better, we was rooting for him, like, you young, keep it up. And Miss Hutch, you know, she been behind him 100%. And then one day, I think it was him and Nez, they came to my spot one time. He was better. He was like, I'm ready to do music. And he came over my house, and I had made this beat. And, like, my grandmother had just passed, so I had made a track, like, really dedicated to her. And he walked in, and he was like, bro, let me get that beat. Let me get that beat. And I was like, well, Hutch, if you go get this beat, you got to, you know, spit some real on it. Like really spit. And not knowing that that would be the little bro last song. I can still remember the day where how it happened, where I was playing it, and he just gravitated to it. So I was like, "Here, you can have it, cause I know you gonna be able to speak to the people through this song." So I threw it to him. He went home, but he was going through a couple of complications still, and he was.
In fact, it was played at his memorial, so it was finished. It was actually finished in time.
Yeah. Oh, and see, that's what I was gonna say. Like, it's a blessing that it still got out, because when he was supposed to record it, he went home and recorded coming back and forth from the hospital. So, and I was amazed. He was like, "Bro, I finished the song," and I'm like, "What? What you doing?" He had finished it, sent it to me, and we just had to mix it and all. But I think the next week or about a week after, I seen him in the hospital, went to go visit him, had a long talk with him, sat down. I dropped him off a daily bread, a little booklet my mother, gave to me when I was younger, so I keep it with me, and talked to him about some real stuff, and I had to leave, but we made sure that we understood, and I was like, "Are you okay?" Like, "Are you okay with?" And let me know, because I'm not in that predicament. Let me know what to do. So we had our talk, and he went home, and Miss Hutch gave me the call. So we thought he would bounce back, but he didn't. But he was such a great, like, little inspiration, like big inspiration. But I called him little dude, that's all. It's just because he had so many things going at that time. We was like, he had a lot of deals and stuff, and we didn't even know about it. So, he was handling his business, shooting videos. So I'm proud to know him, proud to be a big bro, mentor to him, have worked with him. And plus, he from the block, so he already go get love anyway, because the way we grew up, we didn't want them to grow up like that so they can do their music. So, rest in peace to Hutch, little bro. We here doing it. You go live on. You already know. And LAKMG, proud to be an honorary, member. And you from West Rep too. You already know. And rest in peace. See you when I get there, man. Anthrax.
And we're back. Thank you guys for your participation and for being with us today. Actually, next we have Wendy Rogers from the Lupus Foundation of America. She's going to join us today from Zoom, so via Zoom. And are you there, Wendy?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello. Can you tell us a little bit about
everybody.
Hello. Can you tell us a little bit about the foundation and a little bit about yourself as well?
Sure, and I do have a PowerPoint. If you guys want me to go ahead and share, I could do that if you'd like.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay, let me see. I'll get started. Okay, so can everyone see this?
Yes, we're good. Thank you. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So thank you guys so much for the invitation. I had the honor of coming last year and was just so inspired and touched to see what you guys are doing. This is actually my team if you guys want to take a quick snapshot and so that it could be recorded in case you have to reach us. I'm the Community Outreach and Engagement Manager for the Southern California region. And so I do a lot of the support services and the educational services. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about my journey. This is a quick snapshot about me. I'm actually a 20-year lupus warrior. And this was me then, and this is me, now. But I started off with the basics of joint pain, fatigue, hair loss. I was an athlete. I never had any major issue with my health. I had a daughter when I was a teenager. perfect childbirth, no complications. And then I relocated from Texas to California, and I began these, top 3 symptoms. But I just basically pushed past them because I was a busy person, working. I went back to school. I was a mom. I was a new wife. And so I didn't really pay too much attention until one morning I had a paralysis episode. And I woke up and couldn't even lift my head from the pillow. And that absolutely scared me to death. So I began to seek medical care. I got into my primary care doctor, and the rundown when I went in to get my vitals, it was very shocking because I had blood pressure 225 over 125, and I was actually misdiagnosed as a hypertension patient. So as I waited to get more information and care, my symptoms began to worsen. And when I got into the specialist, one of the issues that I was having is they noticed I was leaking protein, which was an indicator that I could have kidney involvement. And just a long story short, by the time I got into the specialist, it was pretty critical. And as a result of not having aggressive, immediate care, I spent 6 months in ICU fighting for my life. In addition to this, I didn't know the symptoms of lupus. So my lifestyle decisions and things like that actually contributed as well, which has motivated me to do things as of today, educating our community especially and talking more about lupus, because I was really down and felt like I was depressed. And I had 2 friends that came to see me and ended up going to Palm Springs for like a girls' trip weekend getaway, which was the worst thing I could have done because I had a lot of sun exposure. And that really sent me over the top, leading me to this ICU stay. I experienced a myriad of things, and it's kind of run down here. I had CNS lupus, I had seizures, a stroke. I developed 2 blood disorders, ITP and TTP, which comes with severe cases of lupus. I had brain swelling. I got MRSA. My lungs collapsed. I lost the ability to walk, which required me to go through physical therapy to restart walking. And my kidneys were shut down. I spent 9 years on hemodialysis. And today I celebrate the fact that I am a 12-year kidney transplant recipient and in remission and doing well. So my lupus is now managed, and I'm able to give back and work and all that good stuff. So that's a brief snapshot of who I am. So a little bit about the Foundation of America. I'm going to go ahead and say, of course, lupus is our cause, but it's also a huge chunk of trying to make sure to educate people, because when you say you have lupus, there's a lot of curiosity and a lot of questions that come with that. That's why I'll back up. You see this purple question mark, because lupus has been coined the cruel mystery. No 2 people are alike, and everybody suffers differently. But I want to take some time to kind of share with you guys what lupus is and what lupus is not. So basically what it is, for those that might not be familiar with it, it's a chronic autoimmune disease that has the ability to damage any part of your body. It can be your skin, your joints, your heart, any major organs. In individuals with lupus, you'll see that their immune system fights for, keeping us safe from all kinds of things, bacteria or virus. But in our immune system, it's overactive, and it doesn't have the ability to distinguish between what's healthy and what's not. So it's doing its job to help, but it's just too active, and it doesn't have the ability to attack the right thing. So if that makes sense. And as I mentioned, lupus is different from person to person. People can live a long life with mild symptoms. And then there's some people that just struggle. They're in and out of the hospital. They're having more major issues. And so you'll see the range of that. So it's not a cookie cutter type disease. And then on average, one of the things about lupus, because of its unpredictability and the fact that it manifests itself differently from person to person, it can take an average of 6 years to diagnose, because people are having these little issues that might not make sense. And then over time, when you start putting these symptoms and issues together, you'll see that that was because of lupus. For example, when I walked in to the doctor's office with blood pressure sky high, it didn't make sense to them because I didn't put together the whole picture, or my medical team hadn't yet put together the whole picture. But I am here to also be encouraging to let you guys know that you can live a quality life and a good life with good medical care and knowledge, and just making some lifestyle adjustments. So I'm glad to be here for that. Some of the common myths about lupus are listed here. One of them is that lupus is contagious. Because it is a defect in our immune system, it's not something you can catch. It's not like a virus or, say the flu. It's something that's internal. There are genes as well as environmental factors that play a part of the development of lupus. So it's kind of something that was in your DNA and it's internal. Also, lupus is not like or related to cancer or HIV/AIDS. In cancer, you have and you'll see abnormal growth of your cells, which will lead to tumors. And that's not what the immune system does. It's there to protect us and fight off everything. And then in HIV, it actually has, in that case, you have an immune system that's underactive, whereas in lupus, it's overactive. And so that's a big difference and some of the key things I want to clarify about what lupus is not. And the big thing too, I have right here in bold, we're here celebrating the life of a young man. And even though there's 90% of people that have lupus who are women, lupus is not a woman's only disease. So that's great that you guys are doing this and shining light on the life and legacy of a man that has been impacted by lupus. So because of that, I want to touch a little bit about lupus in men. So just some key facts. We see that anybody can develop lupus. As I mentioned, you can have children, you can have teenagers, you can have adults. But research shows that an average of 10% of those that are diagnosed with lupus are actually male. And when you compare males to females, they have the same typical manifestations as women. However, you'll see that some symptoms can be a little different or a little more aggressive when you look at men and women. And so here's the list of some symptoms that you'll see that are really common when you see a man has developed lupus. They'll have low blood counts. They are more likely to have heart issues in comparison to women, even though in both genders, you'll see an increase of factors that put them at a higher risk than most people with heart issues. Also, you'll see they have an increased risk of blood clots. And so there is a syndrome called antiphospholipid syndrome, and you'll see these antibodies develop, and it puts people at risk, especially men. Also, kidney disease. Even though I had it, being a Black woman, our community is more at risk for that. But when you're a man with lupus, you get bumped up a little bit more with the symptoms and the risk factors. And then there's a condition called serositis, which is basically inflammation of the membrane that causes chest pain. So when you take a deep breath, you'll feel pain or like a stabbing feeling around it because that tissue is often affected by lupus. So taking a deep breath and trying to talk and stuff like that, they'll often feel that more extensively than a woman. And then just other things to keep in mind that you'll see in both cases, and sometimes men do have a little bit more of an extreme or a more detailed or more likely experience with this is extreme fatigue. We now have a group, and I'll talk about that later, that is for men only. And I was telling people one of the most profound statements that I heard from one of the men in the group was saying, I am tired all the time, but guess what? I still have to be a dad, and I still have to be the person who opens the pickle jar for my daughter. And so a lot of times men go through life and they're not often able to share like women because it's seen as a sign of weakness. They have pain and swelling in their joints. You'll see swelling in the hands and feet, and then headaches are real common in men. So this is just a rundown based on some of the clinical studies that have been noticed between men and women that might be differences when men have lupus. So I want to talk now and share with you guys our work and let you know what we have to offer, because I don't want to be here and not let you know that there's not help out there. I don't know who's out there that might be affected like Chris Hutch was and his family, but I do want to come and encourage you guys that there is help and you don't have to live with this alone. I have benefited quite a bunch from this organization. In fact, I've been connected to it as a volunteer for 15 years prior to becoming a person that works with as a staff member on issues of lupus. So just to run down, one of the two of the key areas that I'd like to share that we work on, we have really 4 big areas which I'd like to run down and go through, is advocacy and research. Surprisingly, in this COVID situation and the pandemic, we have been working around the clock. We're just now kind of slowing down and kind of taking a breath, but we have been fighting for Plaquenil. There was a shortage when the president, and I don't want to be political, was promoting it as a drug that could benefit the coronavirus and help with that. The FDA did not approve that, but there was a shortage that occurred because of this possibility. So medical facilities had kind of halted some of it. People were not able to get their medication, and Plaquenil is actually one of the key medications to treat and to manage lupus. You all also see that prednisone is a big baby for managing lupus, but we had a hard time making sure people could get their medication. So we did a lot of advocacy on a political level and fighting for people to get access to medical care. We had almost 200,000 letters sent in to Congress, making them aware. The CDC came on board and actually shared the details and the severity of lupus. So we did have a big push in awareness too. And fortunately, that is something that settled down. We also have pharmaceutical companies that came on board to help ensure people were able to get the treatments that they need. So that's an update about where we were on our advocacy area and how we've been fighting for people with lupus. A little bit about our research, which is another area. There's 3 big areas that our research has really focused on the last couple of years. And the first one is stem cell research. We actually have a very exciting study. It's done by one of our doctors out of the Medical University of South Carolina. He is working with a team to provide a study because it was looking promising for treatment and help with lupus. And so this is a brand new and exciting study that has rolled out the last year or so. And so we're hoping to see that as providing some new information and promising outlooks for helping people with lupus. Another area that we're focused on helping is the pediatric lupus community. A lot of times when kids are diagnosed with lupus, it really is a big blow to them, not only because they don't have the ability to, do things that a regular person without this condition has, but going to school, but we have seen that their symptoms can be pretty serious, especially in young boys, because we'll see that their kidneys are more likely to be impacted. So it causes a huge life change for these kids. So we're really working on that and to provide support and education for parents. Yes. And then the other area, which is going to be a huge area for us next year, we have already had 2 great companies on board, and that's on lupus nephritis. And as I mentioned earlier, just by being a minority and in certain groups, it puts you at a higher risk for this. And definitely, as you saw in my case, having to do 9 years of dialysis because of the impact of lupus on my kidneys, this is a huge part for us. We actually have 2 drug companies that have treatments that are coming through the pipeline that are looking very promised. They've passed several phases of the clinical trials, so we're hoping to be able to announce that very, very soon. And just to back up to advocacy, just to show you what we do, every year we have a national lupus summit. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to go to DC. We are doing that virtually. If you'd like to join and talk to your congressional officials about how you've been impacted by lupus and supporting federal funding for lupus research, we have made some great impacts. And this is a rundown of the ask and the awards we were able to receive. So we are having some great progress. We now have had $10 million awarded for research at the Center of Disease Control, the CDC. $2 million at the Office of Minority Health is awarded, and then $47 billion at the NIH, or the National Institutes of Health, and $10 million at the Department of Defense. And the DoD, or the Department of Defense, is one that a lot of times people are like, well, why do we get funded there? We have found that many people who are serving in our military are impacted by lupus and have to medically retire because of the exposures in the environment and the stress of what they have to endure to serve our country. So that's another area that we have been able to support people. Just to do a rundown and just give you a snapshot about why it's important for us to think about supporting research. This is just a brief snapshot that I put together on just the FDA approvals for lupus therapies. For many, many years, we haven't had something specifically for lupus, and depending on how it manifests, different organ systems are involved. So every lupus patient will have, a unique team. But I just wanted to show you, in 1948, aspirin was approved for lupus treatment. And you can see, we all know that aspirin is also approved for other things. So this was something that came into our area to help treat. Later in that year, we had the approval of prednisone, which is a corticosteroid, and is one of the key medications that a lot of people take. The downside about it is if you take it over a long period of time, people often have issues with their joints over time. And then in 1955, we had the approval of hydroxychloroquine, which was or Plaquenil, which was the medication I was telling you we were fighting for this year to ensure people had access to. And so we went from 1955 to 2011. And then in 2011, we had the first ever medication or drug therapy for lupus only. And this was Benlysta. This was a groundbreaking thing for us to have. It was almost, to me, like seeing something in civil rights, because we really just needed something and to start somewhere. And not only has it shown promising in many populations, but it's also looking promising to help people with kidney disease as well. So we're really excited about the future. As I've mentioned, we have two companies coming on board to help with the area of kidney disease, but there's other areas. Lupus can affect head to toe. So we have, a plethora of opportunities. So I just wanted to give you all a rundown about how that looks. So we need as much support as possible for our scientists and our researchers. So with that said, I think I could not say that without reminding the community of the importance of our involvement in clinical trials. I was actually one of the people who testified before the FDA for the approval of Benlysta. And one of the complaints as they looked at the overall study was there was not enough African Americans or Black people in the study. So they were concerned. And we know that we have a long history of fear because of how we were treated in that. And, we look at Tuskegee and the syphilis experiment. I don't even want to call it a study. And so we're very afraid. So the Lupus Foundation of America has designed a program called IMPACT, which stands for Improving Minority Participation and Awareness in Clinical Trials, to help educate everybody on what it's like to go through a clinical trial, how you can be empowered, how it is today to help you be more likely to participate and go in as an educated person. So in this program, we focus on exposure to the education, state of art care, and promising new therapies. The difference is today the study is focused, and the way clinical trials operate is they're more patient focused. It's not like you're going into a bunch of people saying, hey, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. You give the consent for everything. You control when you do something, when you don't. And we've really done a great job of working to build partnerships with our community churches to help explain this and navigate people through the process. And that's available on our website. We have an online toolkit for you guys to download and review and get all of the details that you need for clinical trials. We also do support services, which is something that I am over and manage for the Southern California region. And I'm so happy to let you guys know through the support and the fundraising of our constituents, we have been able to add 11 new support groups just from 2020. We began with the Carson Support Group about 4 years ago, and we're serving everybody right now safely in a virtual platform. So you can see the areas that are listed here. We cover LA County, we cover Orange County, San Diego, and Ventura County. And then we have 3 specialty groups for specific communities because minorities are more likely, especially the Black community, to be impacted by lupus. But we have a group for the Asian community, which most of them have never, ever had any targeted care as a group. And then we have for the Latinx community. And then we have for our men, which is what I really want to touch on today to give you guys the information on that. So it has always, last year was so heartbreaking for me to hear Chris's story, because when you're a man with lupus, you really kind of live in the shadows and you really deal with stuff alone. And just being a man, I know, and I have observed that it's kind of hard to share that you're sick, because it kind of is a blow to manhood and being tough and just the role of the man in our society and our family structure is important. But I'm excited to share with you guys, we do now have a lupus support group by men for men. It's called the Lupus Man Cave. And these are 2 guys that actually come out of our Carson support group. And they're like brothers to me, and they've stepped it up and have come forward to make sure men have a place to gather and share and be educated on lupus. It's led by Kevin Bond, who's at the top. And I'm telling you, I've just been so proud of them to see. It will probably remain virtual because of the fact that men are in the lower percentile of development. And so they wanted to ensure that men from all over could have access. So it's a national group, so men around the country can join. The bottom guy is Todd Goodwin, who's a dear friend of mine. And he was actually one of the first men that I met and befriended who had lupus. So they're very, very knowledgeable on lupus and just great people to connect to if you need a man to talk to if you have lupus. And we're wrapping up our 2020 meetings, but we'll be back at the top of the year. You can still email them. The email address is LFA Man Cave. If you'd like to take a snapshot, they meet on Zoom. And it's just a great, great place for men to be. Also, I want to mention, if you're a man taking care of someone with lupus, you're welcome to join this group as well. We really work on leaving the ladies out. I've had to kick out a few. The other thing we offer is education and outreach. We have 2 big programs in our Southern California region. We have our formal education event called Lupus Learning and Living. And here we bring in experts. We have a corporate sponsor. So people in different areas of medical care or education come in and help educate the community. These are normally provided at a hotel. It's like a big event, but due to the changes, we're doing these virtually. We've actually been able to offer more of these. And so you can join us online. You're able to talk to people one-on-one, ask questions. And we also have patients that share their experience and stories for you to connect. In response to the COVID and the pandemic, we have a program called Lupus Mind, Body, and Soul to help with just the daily stressors and challenges of lupus. So we offer these on Fridays at either 12 noon or 5 p.m. They're 45-minute sessions where we target three areas: your mentality, your physical area, and then just like how you just think about things. So and deal with things on a more, deeper level. So we have psychologists, we do exercises, we do whatever you have an idea from. You can see here, this is one of the ones we hosted in July. We talked about gratitude and goals. We had this psychologist, Dr. Blyde, who also has lupus, who talked about biofeedback. And then we have our very own Nicole Padilla, who's a certified Zumba instructor who provided chair Zumba. So one thing about the exercises we do, we try to show people how to do that without injuring themselves with lupus, because a lot of times you do have to make physical adjustments to work out. One of our signature events that helps keep us going, especially our lupus research, is the Walk to End Lupus Now. It's a national event. Usually we have them in cities across the US. This year we had one huge national event, which was amazing. We raised about $2 million for lupus research. And this is a great way, if you are a person with a company, you can become a sponsor and get a lot of, exposure, or you can be involved with your loved ones, just like with Chris, and raise awareness and tell his story and let more people know about, how your family was impacted and engaged with our community. And that's run by my colleague, Nicole Padilla. We have what's called Lupus at Work, which is a corporate program where you can bring us in. We can educate you on lupus into your staff and let you explore opportunities if you want to get your company involved. Our director, Matt Selza, who is here, I see him, is the person who oversees this. So it's really a way to get your own specialized education. So if you're interested, let me know and I'll put you in contact. But it's a great way to just get the information and also support your friends and staff, because we often get people who work for companies that might need someone to explain why they might need modifications so that they have the sensitivity and the support as they try to carry out their job, or why they or support them as they request modifications. So not only for the company, but for the person and the family impacted by lupus. So to stay in touch with us, we're on many, many platforms on social media. Our key handle is lupus.org SoCal. You can find us on Facebook. We actually have 3 different groups. One for our general group, LFA SoCal support groups, gives you access to all of the groups we run in Southern California. We give reminders, updates, and keep you involved if you need some kind of support. To End Lupus Now on Twitter, Instagram, and also offer videos on YouTube at Lupus Foundation. Thank you all so much for allowing me to share my experience and the work we offer. And please don't hesitate to let me know if you're in need of anything. Don't suffer alone. And I'll be glad to speak to people even one-on-one and answer any other questions you may have. Thank you so much. And I'll stop sharing so you guys have access to me.
Thank you, Wendy, for everything, all the information you provided. Very helpful. We also appreciate you sharing your story today. Is there anything else you would like to share with us about yourself or the organization, or anything, any upcoming plans for lupus or events?
Okay. So we are really closing out our 2020. We will be offering holiday support for people because we know the holidays can be really tough. But I just want to encourage people. One of the things is a lot of times people suffer because they look okay. It's called the look good, feel bad disease. And so a lot of times people are really frustrated because they don't have an outward appearance. I mean, not to like toot my own horn, but for example, looking at me, you would never know I sat in a dialysis chair for 9 years, or I have a kidney transplant, or that I've had to adjust my life so I can make sure I have the proper rest. When it comes to lupus, it impacts the Black community most, along with other things that make us, higher in health disparities. So it's really, really important to seek a very good rheumatologist. When you deal with healthcare specialists, make sure there's somebody who listens to you. So those are two things I definitely want to leave to people. And don't be embarrassed or afraid. Seek help. We're here to offer whatever you can do, you can have. And what we don't have, we have a whole national network of health educator specialists that can also work with you one-on-one to get you the help you need.
Well, thanks again. Like I said, we appreciate you being here with us and sharing all that you did today. We look forward to hearing from you and seeing you hopefully next year as we do this annually. So thanks again. And we hope you have a great day.
And thank you for the great event and awareness in the community. I applaud you all.
Awesome. Well, thanks again. We have another video coming up shortly. We're going to go ahead and go live with that, and we'll see you in a minute. Hello. Back. So we have another song straight from Mo Sick. He has some more music for us. So he's going to do this next song called Darkness. And we look forward to what that has to say for this next tune. So here he comes back to the stage.
We all know what we're going through right now with COVID-19, but I want to preface this song with just some brief things. March 12th, everything shut down. April 8th, my mother died of COVID-19. She was in New York City. I was here in LA. The last thing I heard her say was, "I love you, I miss you." That was the night before. And it was like after that, everything just kept unfolding. Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd. Just look at where we are right now. So I wrote this song trying to find some kind of hope. Darkness. Let's go. And the news creeped in. Suffering and pain has now settled in. How do I pray? How do I begin? How do I hope? Yo, I swear I can't win. Can we just be honest? How you telling me to chill? I can barely pay my bills while you sitting on your meals. My kids needed some meals. This ain't funny, this is real. I'm about to pull the hammer out, then Bishop said chill. Don't let this darkness fool ya. 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 Even when you're lonely, living like you're hopeless. Ask me how I know this. I suffered and survived. Yeah, you made it and that's fine, but I'm suffering right now. I need money and solutions. All my family is out. This is pressure, this is hard, this is crazy where it's gone. Please don't give me that church lingo that I have to trust in God. See, we lost Kobe and Nip, and I lost my mother's shit. And this world's losing this grip. I ain't got no time to trip. So much loss, so much pain. Why the cost? What's the gain? And we're losing more day by day. Don't let this darkness fool ya. 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 Even when you're lonely, living like you're hopeless. Ask me how I know this. I suffered and survived just to tell you we gon'. And when it's hard to believe, feeling like you can't even breathe. Been there before, and when it's dark in my life, I hold on to hope, cause that is all that I have. Holding me down, and when it's dark in your life, hold on to hope, cause that is all that you have. Holding you down, and when it's dark in the world, just know that there's a peace for us to be still. Don't let this darkness fool ya. 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 Even when you're lonely and living like you're hopeless, ask me how I know this. I suffered and survived just to tell you we gon' make it now.
Live and maintain. Maintain. All my niggas is maintaining, and we getting money, so though. A black cat has crossed my path.
I wake up every day.
Is this a sign that you're still a man?
You know I'm trying to maintain.
I see a rainbow.
Maintain.
Only black.
I see it.
Is this a sign you are coming back? Then
I wake up every day, I gotta get it. Maintain the position and staying up on the mission. Know I'm thanking God every day that I'm living. All this paper I'm getting while you a slave to the system. Can't hang with them niggas, can't relate to the wisdom. I operate off of faith, but the papers are given. Made niggas can't expect lame niggas to listen. Now you wasting the gift, can't play with the vision. Play my position, I need a break from the kitchen. I had them fiends addicted, coming straight from the district. Every blessing that I get, yeah, I'm grateful to get it. Put it all on the line, every bar, every time. And since I do it for the love, you know the dollars is mine. Yeah, you know I'm gon' shine, bet it all on the grind. 100,000 just to rhyme, my dollars just climb. Watch a young nigga shine, this is my obvious time. Wake up every day, I gotta get it. Maintain the position and staying up on the mission. Wake up every day, I gotta get it. Maintain for the district, you can pay me a visit. Wake up every day, I gotta get it. Maintain the position and staying up on the mission. Wake up every day, I gotta get it. Maintain for the district, you can pay me a visit. Recognizing the buyers, flyer cause I'm the pilot. I supply the supplier, whack niggas retire. Recognize that I'm flyer, exceptional my attire. Lemert Park is mine, them Avenue niggas biased. Old niggas is fired, I'm cold, shout out the Dyer. On fire like Richard Pryor, explode, homicidal. Killing them for the title, diminishing all my rivals. Yeah, this is about survival, real nigga recital. Play him like the piano and turn to another channel. Niggas trying to gamble, the niggas could end up cancel. No, they can't do the numbers you predicted. This is the anthem, I'm representing for that district. Wake up every day, I gotta get it. Maintain the position and staying up on the mission. Wake up every day, I gotta get it. Maintain for the district, you can pay me a visit. Wake up every day, I gotta get it. Maintain the position and staying up on the mission. Wake up every day, I gotta get it. Maintain for the district, you can pay me a visit.
Again, we just want to thank you guys for your participation and for being here with us as we're talking about such a serious topic as lupus awareness. And we just thank you for your support today. As a reminder, you have the ability to donate. You can make a donation. Your support can improve the quality of life for people with lupus through research, education, and advocacy. Help us continue to lead the way and to have the greatest impact on the people's lives in the shortest amount of time. You can donate by sending a check or money order to the Chris Hutch Lupus Organization, Post Office Box 8256, Los Angeles, California 90008. And again, we want to thank you. You also can send a cash app to $EHutch123, and we appreciate in advance. One of the things that we're doing as a part of partnering with us is you actually will receive an honorary hat from the LAKMG brand. We have one of the hats here. Is actually, what you can't see is that this is actually snakeskin. So this is crazy fly. It's purple, which represents the purple ribbon for lupus. We actually also have other flavors and colors. You can see actually if you zoom in that we have the LAKMG brand there. And when you donate, you actually will receive an honorary hat with the it's a special version of these hats that we're making for your donation, and we appreciate that. Also, we have a book that is in honor of Chris Hutchinson's life. We want to. It's a biography about his life, talking about the racism that's embedded in the medical industry and how he was targeted and his life was impacted due to the way things went. And you can actually hear a little bit more about that story with this book. It's called The Life and Music of Chris Hutch, and it's actually available on Amazon. We have a graphic for that, so you actually can see what that looks like as well. But we just want to make awareness to bring and shed a light to what goes on in the medical industry as it pertains to Black people in America and how that can impact individuals' lives because of the way things are. So, is there anything you wanted to say to us today to discuss anything on your heart today?
Well, actually, this biography that you just spoke about is not the main book. I have another book out that's going to be coming out soon, called Out of the Frying Pan into the Hospital, and it's a book that is giving a lot of information about what people go through, and I'm speaking mainly of my son's experience, who was in 4 different hospitals and was actually abused and in each of those hospitals in a different way. And just all kinds of things that most people would not believe went on during that time. And it just opened my eyes. I had a similar experience with his dad, and that didn't go very well because he passed away, but not because of the disease, but it was because of something that they did that complicated the situation. And so my way of dealing with it really is to write the book. It's hard suing hospitals now. You really can't. It's almost impossible to do. I did with his dad, who passed away from complications of lymphoma. But something just recently happened that really kind of like, I'm still dealing with it. I really this is something I did not know. I was cleaning out my garage one day, and I discovered a letter that that I had gotten from the hospital that I had never dealt with. I thought it was a bill, I think, and at that time I didn't, I had dealt with all of that. So somehow I stumbled across it, and it was unopened, so I opened it up. And now I know that my late husband had been diagnosed with large T-cell lymphoma, and that's all they ever told me. Okay, so I decided to open this letter, and I discovered that it was a diagnostic report. And to my shock, I'll put it that way, it was diagnosing my late husband with systemic lupus. I didn't know this. This is something I never knew. So I think genetically, he was my son Chris was predisposed to the lupus disease, and because I know of 2 other members in my late husband's family that also have lupus, and one is one of his nieces who is now still suffering with lupus after like 20 years or so. So it looks like it was something that was passed down genetically. I didn't know that before. So it was very timely, right before this event and everything. So I'm trying to make other family members aware of it. He has some daughters, and they need to know. They need to, they have kids. So I think this happened. There was a purpose in it. I'll put it that way. So it's something that people all around us sometimes do not get diagnosed because it's not that easy to diagnose lupus. It has a lot of things that it mocks, and it attacks different organs. And instead of them looking to see if there's something else systemic going on, a lot of times they'll just go for whatever organ is being attacked. So this was something like an eye-opening experience. I didn't know that he was suffering with 2 major diseases, and I doubt that he knew it. So anyway, that's just something that might be helpful to some families that may be dealing with it. You know, maybe they need to see if it's something that's genetic. So thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So again, we thank you for your partnership, and your partnership with us is helping to help lives and save lives and bring awareness to this very, very challenging disease. We actually have upcoming next. We have a video coming up, and you won't want to miss it. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. This is Leon, your host. Welcome back. Coming to the stage right now, we have married couple, Michael and Gina Winans. They have a song that they want to perform today called Blessed, and we're blessed to have them today. So put your hands together for Michael and Regina Winans.
I said I'm here because of his mercy and grace. He gave me the courage to fight. Go on and run this race. Joy and peace when I was in the midst of the storm. Supply my needs. He's always been there for me. I know that I'm so blessed because I'm able to see a new day. Let me show you the way. I'm thankful for giving praise because he deserves it. He's giving back to me, yes, life eternally. I know that I said I'm blessed because I can see a new day. Let me show you the way. We're thankful for all things. He's giving me joy. My heart is filled with joy. Joy. It's in my soul. Ooh, I'm so happy. Deep down inside, yeah, I'm happy. Cause I've been set free. I'm thankful cause I'm blessed. And I know he's always there for me. Yeah, when I call his name, he's always there for me. Yes, he is. He supplies every need. He's always there for me. I will go where he leads me. He's always there. Let's just see. I'm gonna trust in the Lord. He's always there for me. Yeah, with all my heart and my soul. He's always there for me. When I can't find my way. He's always there for me. He puts the joy back in my day. He's always there for me. Let's see that. When my heart gets filled with pain. He's always there for me. Yeah. I'll go to him. He's the same. He's always there for me. When I can't help myself. He's always there for me. I will cry out for help. He's always there for me. Help me, Jesus. I gotta praise his holy name. He's always there for me. Yeah, yeah. He won't ever change. He's always there for me. And I tell you that I'm blessed because I'm able to see a new day. Let me show you the way. Yeah, yeah. I'm thankful for giving praise to him because he deserves it. He's giving back to me, yes, life eternally. I know that I'm blessed.
Next, coming to the stage, we have Justin. Justin is going to tell us a little bit about his relationship with Chris and what his legacy meant to his life. So everybody put your hands together for Justin.
Hello, everyone. My name is Justin. Chris was a good friend of mine. We met in high school, and we produced music together. And he was just a joy to be around. He was just a pleasure to know, his musical taste. Definitely shaped and molded and changed my way of thinking. And as we worked together and did music together, we grew and learned and developed. Just all around great guy, never a dull moment. Every time you were around Chris, you would laugh, you would have fun. It doesn't matter if we were in the car coming home from school. We laughed the whole ride home, didn't matter if we were in class, football practice. It just was always, a moment. So, one of my favorite stories about Chris is we used to travel and work at a studio that was actually not far from his house. It was farther away from mine, but it was not far from his house. So it was just interesting, like neighborhoods, you have these things you encounter, as young men. It was in a different neighborhood. So our trek to the studio would always be, an event-filled one, even though it was down the street. And we literally spent hours and days. One of our mentors, Tracy Blackwell, shout out to Tracy, Brandon, shout out to everyone, but just working with Chris on a daily basis, calling him every day, every time I get a new beat idea or something, and calling him and getting his opinion on it. Chris's opinion it held a lot of weight. If he didn't like it, I would feel disappointed. His taste was definitely something that I respected, and in working together. Chris's impact on me definitely was an inspirational one. Definitely being pushed, or like giving you that extra push that you need to see something through, especially when you started something together, was very, very, very influential in like even the things that I was able to accomplish, to this day, because it was those times that like were the gas, were the fuel, and that I was thinking about when moving and going on to certain things. I think Chris's impact and what we should take from his life and his story is the awareness of, what he was dealing with, lupus, as far as lupus awareness and being able to use his story and legacy to help others from here on. Okay. My name is Justin Johnson, and I'm a friend of Chris Hutch, an honorary LA KMG fam. Thank you.
Welcome back again. Thank you for being with us today. The next thing we're going to do right now, we're actually going to be cutting the cake. So we're going to go ahead and stream that, and we have our kids here that are going to dance in front of the cake. They're here to say hello. Go ahead and wave to the camera, y'all. So we're just going to cut the cake. Again, this is Chris Hutchison's birthday. We want to celebrate that and cut the cake while we do that. We also have a birthday song that was actually written and performed by Eleanor Hutchinson, Chris's mother. It was actually produced, and the music was actually produced by Chris. So it's a very impactful song, and one that moves us every time we hear it. So we want to go ahead and play that while we cut the cake. So here that goes.
Happy birthday, angel love.
Hey. No, she's gonna take it.
Though you're no longer here.
Somebody flaw.
Your memories are so clear.
Oh, we like it. Don't hit the cake. Eli, watch your elbows.
You want to dance, Bob?
Uh-oh. Eli, hit him with the whoop. Watch your head. Uh-oh. Don't hit the cake.
Please don't hit the cake.
Please don't hit the cake. Hit the cake. All right, I'll keep going, keep going. Don't hit the cake. Uh-oh. Millie Rock. Millie Rock on every... Yeah, we had to take photos of that because our kids look really silly doing that. But awesome.
Oh yeah, that song. By the way, let's give a shout out to cousin Willie Hampton. That voice, that deep voice, not gone and not forgotten. That was Willie Hampton. He went into the studio with me and did that, and that was. I was singing and doing the other voices and playing the congas, but he did that deep voice, and I thought it was quite appropriate track that I found that tied right in after I started writing the song. And it was one of Christopher's tracks, one of his beats. So I've done that on more than one occasion with some of the beats that he left behind. He was very talented. So,
and we just again we celebrate his life and the legacy he leaves behind. He has a wonderful catalog of music that you guys don't want to miss out on. We'll post some of those links in the description of this stream as well. We want to thank you guys. This brings our event to a close. The annual Lupus event we do every year. This is something new. This is the first year we're doing this. It's something we may do in the future this same way because we feel like it can impact more lives and we can reach a broader audience. So we always want to reach and impact more and more people as we grow and go along. And as you right now know, we're in very tumultuous times right now. Chaotic times. COVID-19, if it hasn't taught us anything, is that we need to place our hope in a higher authority. And right now, I just want to let you know that you can get closer to the living and true God, the true and living God. Jesus Christ offers the one sacrifice that we need to reconcile us back to God. He paid for every one of our sins. And he says if we place our faith into him, we will have eternal life. So if you don't know God, all you have to do is close your eyes and confess your sins to him and believe in your heart that he is the Son of God, and you will be saved. That is what the Bible says. And so the gospel is the power of God to salvation for everyone who believes. So all you have to do is right now you close your eyes and you say, "Dear Heavenly Father, I come to you broken. I need your salvation. I put my faith in your Son. I ask you to come into my life, come into my heart and live in me. And I will give my heart to you and trust in you. In Jesus' name, I pray." And right then with that just simple prayer, God will enter your life and transform you. That's what he promises. So that concludes our event today. I want to thank you again for being here with us. We hope to see you on the next one. And until then, God bless and good night.
Let's go out with the cake cutting and the music.
Let's eat cake.
Yeah. Okay. Music. Yeah. Happy birthday, angel love. Though you're no longer here, your memories are so clear. We celebrate your life with cheer. You're special. We miss you. Your love, your spark.